Buenos dias. I'm Jose Quiñones, the Wandering Broker, and my co-host, Marquisa Edmond. MarquisaEdmond.com, by the way.
Yeah.
What's going on, Marquisa? What's going on?
Well, I'm telling you, everything's going on. How are you?
Phenomenal.
Man.
Today we're gonna switch it up today. Today, what we're gonna do, we really want to just have a conversation between Marquisa and I. We've received a lot of messages like they would like to for us to get a little bit more personal and talk about who we are. Why are we here? Why are we doing what we do? So, who are you, Marquisa?
Oh, well, I've been a loan officer for quite some time now, out front helping folks out here get their homes. But I'm an underwriter. I was an underwriter for a long time. That is the person behind the scenes you never meet, right? And I've also helped federal government, corporate America, in the housing sector at all levels. It is just what I've been in since I was 18 years old. And you know, the blessing in it is when you're placed in your purpose and your gift from the start, and you really don't get that chance to branch out because this is where you're supposed to be from the start. I was planted there early, and you know, I've been able to grow and grow and grow from the start. That's a blessing to me.
That's right. And now, question for you: what got you into the business? Was it just you just went apply looking for a job at 18 years old, or you wanted to do mortgages? Like, what?
You know, it's amazing because you'll find in your life you're drawn and attracted to certain things, and you're curious about certain things, whether it's hard, tough, or whatever the case may be, you're drawn to it. So I was always attracted to real estate, right?
Okay.
I always loved real estate, but I didn't want to sell real estate. I didn't want to sell it. I'm more interested in the behind the scenes, what goes on. I always thought Oprah show and Ellen show was amazing, not because of everyone that was sitting on the seats in front of the camera. I always wanted to know what was going on behind the scenes. I felt like without them, the show couldn't go on, right?
Understood.
So that's where my interest was in college. I had the ability to meet people. I had a liaison officer. I'll never forget him, Dr. Crawford. He introduced me to USDA Rural Development. And from there, a lot of times when that door opens or that window opens, it's up to you to push your way through it, right? And go through it. But it's always a blessing to have opportunities and make connections, relationships with people. It's still important to look people in the eye, have a conversation, follow up, get to know people, because you never know where that's going to lead you.
Wow.
Well, what about you?
Well, I'll tell you this. What got me into real estate prior to that, I would believe I was a substance abuse counselor, man, for a long time, man. I think 17 years.
Wow.
And my wife got sick, really sick. And I remember I needed to take some time off. But really, what was the catalyst for me to get into real estate? I remember my wife was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I remember being at the OBGYN, the specialists, who shared with her, you know, the findings. And I remember sitting there. My wife comes from a big Baptist family. You know, they like, you know, when God forbid, when there's a funeral, you know, you're going to spend some money, right?
Right.
And I remember being at the doctor's office, and instead of consoling my wife and focus on her, all I was worrying about was like, man, God forbid, if something happens to my wife and she passes away, I can't even afford to give her a proper burial.
Aww.
And I remember that when we left there, I swore to myself that I would never again, if God keeps my wife with me, which she is, you know,
Yes.
that I would never put myself in a position that I'm worrying more about money than to be there for my wife, right?
Yes.
So I remember the following day I quit my job. I took whatever money I had in my 401k. We paid off some debt. I had a friend of mine that allowed us to, because that was almost a decade ago. A decade ago, I didn't even own my own home.
Wow.
You know, we were renting. You know, we were just paycheck to paycheck, living life. We were happy. You know, we had been married probably, I would say, 5 years. And I remember just living in a friend's home who told us, listen, I got this. I've always lived in the Milton area. She said, hey, Jose, why don't you guys move into my house? You know, it was our summer home, and just chill there. You're just get yourself together, allow your wife to heal, and figure things out. I remember that while we were doing that, we were also working on our credit, and we said, we want to be homeowners. Remember working with a realtor who helped us buy our first home. And I remember when I saw what the realtor did and the money she made from that transaction, something just something spoke to me.
Okay.
And because I've always been involved, I have always been involved in the Hispanic community. I've sent many boards. For years, I was, a DUI counselor that focused on the Spanish-speaking community for a local nonprofit, and I've always wanted to serve. I'm a server at heart. So I went and got my real estate license. A friend said, "Yo, why don't you just get your real estate license and continue?" Man, I'm gonna tell you, that was the best thing that's ever happened in my life, because here we are.
Yes.
Here we are. I continue to be a servant. I continue to provide for my family, provide for others, and now the mindset is there's opportunities everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I'm always telling people that outside of investing in your family and yourself, real estate is the next best thing.
Yes.
Because it totally has transformed my life. And there's a strong, strong, strong possibility that it will impact my grandchildren.
Oh, it's happening.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So my word, my focus is making sure that everything that I do in my life moving forward is impacting others and reminding others that it's never too late. I was 42 years old when I woke up.
There we go.
Make sense?
Yes.
That was long, but
but everything that you've gained along the way
Yeah.
is what's keeping you and propelling you now.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. So now, how did you and I connect? How did that happen?
Oh man, let me tell you, I was at the mall. I was at Christiana Mall parking lot, and I received a phone call from this dynamic being on the other side of the phone, and it was you. And we didn't know each other, and this is why I say relationships and knowing good people, it really does go a long way. We still exist, and this is still a good way to get out and make things happen. But one of your realtors, Devin Scott, my buddy.
Scott,
Devin.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yes, it's definitely a shout out to Devin. Devin connected us, right?
Yep, he did.
And that was during COVID, actually.
That's right. During the
So
very beginning when things was buck wild, yeah.
Yes, so we started this from a phone call in a parking lot to doing Zoom videos at home, at your office, home office, in my home. And I don't think we actually physically met for a year.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Or
we
longer?
Were doing videos. We were doing the same podcast for about a year. And then we actually met for the first time once we opened up this office.
Once you opened this office and walking in and seeing everything that you had talked about for such a while, and to walk into it, I don't think it could have been any better and a better story. We're going to do this until we're like super old, right?
That's right. It's all about relationships, and it's about giving back. It's about sharpening iron. I always want to be surrounded by individuals that really are passionate about what they're doing. And there's a sense of purpose, right? And that purpose has to be aligned with serving our communities, with serving others and providing value. And even if the value is just running my mouth and sharing everything that I'm picking up, So when I saw you in that interview with Devin, I'm like, I have to connect with this young lady, right? Because I love the energy and you know your stuff.
Well, thank you. And I always say this. Your gift is not about just you. It will bless everyone around you one way or the other.
That's right.
I know others, their gifts bless me all the time because I can't do hair, I can't do nails, and I mean, they make some good money, don't they?
That's right.
Your gift truly will. It's not just about you. It will, using your word, it will serve, it will bless, it will be that thing that comes natural to you that doesn't come natural to someone else. It really is for other people.
That's the story behind this thing. We just want to make sure we took some time, share that. Any questions? If you guys want us to talk about any specific topic, hit us up. right? Send us a
Right.
message. So with that, if you are thinking about selling or buying a home, feel free to call our office here in Rehoboth Beach, Linda Vista Real Estate, 302-313-1600. Marquisa, how can they get a hold of you?
MarquisaEdmond.com. You can go and find me there. You can also give me a call, 302-824-8587.
May you have a phenomenal day.